Governor Umo Eno, once a staunch member and loyalist of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has jumped ship to the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, a move that has got lots of reactions from Nigerians since his defection over the weekend. For over 2 decades, Akwa Ibom has been a PDP stronghold that seemed impenetrable. But now, Governor Umo Eno appears to have broken ranks by defecting to the APC in what he calls a progressive move.
Experts worry if this is truly about progress or it's a desperate political survival tactic, especially with three of his cabinet members refusing to defect with him and resigning from the positions as his commissioners. Join us this morning to x-ray this development in Akwa Ibom as Public Affairs Analyst, Dr. Yusuf Haroun. Warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us on Breakfast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. It seems that what we're seeing now seems to be like some form of a routine. Everybody were waiting to hear who has defected to the APC. And it's interesting to see that states that were formerly known as PDP strongholds are now moving to the APC. When you speak with them or when some of these governors give explanation, they say they're trying to connect to the center, to benefit the people. So I think the first question will be, do you genuinely believe these governors when they say that they're doing it for the benefit of the citizens of their state, for example, Delta State government and now Akwa
Ibom State? Thank you very much for this question. There is something that is very permanent in politics, and that is self-interest. Many of them are just after their self-interest. So on the 7th of June, when it was released that the Akwa Ibom State governor has defected, and he defected on the 6th of June, I did a research and found out that there are 6 main reasons why he defected, and I will just highlight the 6 before I go in depth. Number 1 is access to federal power. Many of them want to align to the center. Many of them are not courageous enough and don't have the same audacity which the current president, Asiwaju Tinubu, had when he was in opposition. Many of them have forgotten that he was in opposition and he stood against Obasanjo. He didn't defect to the PDP, and he still was called the last man standing at that time. So number 1 is access to federal power. And this is also from what he quote, and I quote him. He said, quote, "I want to go with the tide and not against the tide," end of quote. So Governor Eno, Pastor Eno wants to be in alignment with the federal power. He doesn't want to go against. That is number 1. Number 2 is that it's due to political survival. Many of them want to survive in their politics, and they feel that if they are in opposition, they are not going to survive. Number 3 is Tinubu's strategic political influence on these governors. Tinubu, as a master strategist, whether by hook or crook, has been influencing these governors to defect the APC. So this is one of the things also. Number 4 is the PDP's internal crisis is also a reason why many of them are defecting. They have problems with the secretary. They have problems with their PDP structure. And many of them are having problems setting up PDP in their parts, in their states. Number 5 is a 2027 election strategy. Many of them are looking at re-election. And if they are having problem in their states, they might have problems getting re-elected as governors. And finally is the bandwagon effect. As you said, Akwa Ibom states, Delta went. I'm also predicting about 6 state governors who are in opposition that are romancing with APC.
Who are these 6?
From the south or?
From the south and 1 in the north. One of the main is, look at Davido, look at his father, look at the governor of Osun State, Adeleke, the Adeleke families.
The APC people had come together to say that the Adeleke family is not welcome.
The president, as a strategic politician, he needs them. So either that they are in PDP and they work for him, and in return he also secures his seat in PDP government, that is, gets re-elected. So Governor Adeleke wants to be re-elected come 2026. He will also look at how he will work for... But
there's a current APC structure, former governor in Osun State APC, so that will be difficult.
He has been rewarded,
Minister of
he has been rewarded with
Economy.
ministerial.
But, I mean, he would prefer to be governor, if you ask me.
Yeah, but Asiwaju is strategic. He can let Governor Adeleke to run for 4 more years. After that, he can...
He can let. There are people in Osun State that vote.
Now,
how much of an influence does the president have? And why didn't we see this gale of defections under President Buhari if everybody is all about connecting to the center?
Now,
because you sound like, oh, the president will pronounce and then automatically everybody will
like
vote.
It's not
for his preferred choice.
No, it's not automatic. And the president doesn't get all he wishes all the time. He doesn't. For example, in Lagos State, we saw the drama that happened, which you even covered, between the governor and the president, even though he denied it and said you can't be holier than the Pope. We all know, we saw the body language. The president didn't shake his hand when he came to Lagos. Obviously, there was a political rift, which the governors, the head of the governors, there is the GOCs, have come to resolve, led by the Olusi. So definitely the president is not going to get all he wants, but as a strategist, he will look for how he can secure. His own goal is to secure 2027. That is his aim. And he doesn't mind, and he has been doing this for over 3 decades. He knows how to work with opposition and how to cut them to also work with him.
But that seems pretty much like a worrisome case right now, because, I mean, according to reports, out of 26 lawmakers in the State Assembly, 13 members, 13 refused to follow Governor Umo. They said they're not going. And also 11 members, in quotes, according to insiders, they reluctantly just followed him. And then we've seen three commissioners. Namely, you have Engineer Eno Ibanga, you also have Ini Ememobong, special duties, and also you have Almond Bob. These are coming from finance, this is coming from deep sea, this is also coming from works. 3 of them have said, no, we will not.
Important portfolios too.
Very important portfolio. These are like what people would call mouth-watering, juicy. Thank you, juicy portfolios. But these guys have said, these commissioners have said, no, we're not following you. Are we seeing a trend that would eventually break the fabrics of Nigeria's democracy? Because what we see now, experts are saying, is not looking like it's democracy. It's starting to look like there is a plan to completely, take over Nigeria and then run it for as long as you can.
Now, 2 things. Firstly, some of these politicians are loyal to the previous governor, to his predecessor, that is Governor Udom Emmanuel. Also, we should know that the current governor, not all of them are going to fall in a line. Some of them are core PDP members. Another reason is that everybody is after self-interest. Some of them can still be looking forward to running as political office holders in their party, and they believe they stand a better chance in the PDP. So that's why some of them are not going to join. So that's part of politics, self-interest, and everybody looks at strategic ways in which they can. Some of these commissioners now, some of these lawmakers, they may have been appointed or selected or nominated or recommended by the previous governor, Governor Udom Emmanuel. And information reaching...
I'm glad you mentioned, I believe I'm about to preempt what you're going to say. This current governor, Pastor Eno, renamed the Dakada Towers, the tallest building in Uyo, after his predecessor.
Yes, that was what I wanted to say.
Appreciation of, his benevolence, his something excellent. And that same predecessor has now said that his defection to the APC is an act of betrayal. How do you reconcile that?
Yes, the reason is that Governor Udom Emmanuel also was nominated by his own predecessor too. That's Godswill Akpabio. And Godswill Akpabio also and Governor Udom Emmanuel have a rift. They are currently in animosity.
So grandfather.
Yes. So it is. Yes, it's going like grandfather.
On the street, this is what
father,
we call
grandson,
Bola Bombola before Bola Bombola.
So politics is very, 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 very lucky, very messy, very dirty. It's all interwoven, it's intertwined. It's not something you can just say. This is, as you said. Oh, okay, Tinubu is doing. It's not a straight road. Sometimes it's a very, very murky water that you can't just predict exactly how things are going.
But is it not betraying the trust of the Akwa Ibom citizens? If these people who went to the polls, and when they went to vote, they did not write Umo Eno's name, Pastor Umo Eno's name on the ballot. It is the political party you're voting.
They voted
so
for
if
PDP.
you come, because this is the argument that Rivers State brought up, when those House of Assembly members allegedly defected. They said, look, we voted you through the vehicle of your political party. You've gotten power, now you want to move to another political party. So is that not maybe some form of betraying the trust that the citizens put in them in voting for that political party?
Yes, my analysis on what you said, you are absolutely right. It's a betrayal. And I believe Nigeria's democracy is still growing, and we have not reached the maturity like in the Western world, like the US, where somebody is a Democrat for life. For 30, 40 years, the person is a Democrat. Or someone is a Republican for life. Or even in the UK, where somebody is in the Labour Party or is in another party where they are in that party for life. So I think that politicians, especially the ones practicing it in Nigeria, they should leave self-interest and face ideology. We don't have fixed ideology in Nigeria.
We have, exactly. That's what I was about to ask.
Do
Do you have any ideology?
Do the people want ideology?
That is the problem. Everybody is just, or majority are just after stomach infrastructure and what is called politically self-interest. They are just looking at what will suit themselves. That's why some people will be in PDP today, they could go to APC tomorrow, they could jump into, if they don't get, and particularly, I predict more defections, especially in coming 2027, when they don't secure the gubernatorial ticket for a particular party, immediately they will defect and start condemning that party. They are not after the ideology.
So do you see much of a difference? Because just recently I saw the birthday clip of a former Minister of Transportation.
That is 60
that has been
years.
very critical, you know, saying things about how the government doesn't care about the poor. He has all the right sound bites. He's a fantastic opposition firebrand. But in that video, because he has a way of talking about how elitists do things, in that video, a private moment dancing with his wife, you could see stern-looking bodyguards, and you're wondering, this is a private celebration. Why this display?
I would analyze.
So
him.
Is there any difference
Yes.
between all those politicians, or
They are all after self-interest, and I will analyze him briefly. At the age of 34 years, a very rare age, this man became the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Rotimi Amici. At the age of 42 years, very rare age and unique again, this man became the Governor of Rivers State. At the age of 50 years, this man became the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Minister of Transportation, and he served also 2 terms. Total of 24 years this man has been in power. This man should retire peacefully and be given out to the society. He should build an institution where he should be donating to Rivers State. He should be grateful to God. How many Nigerians, over 200 million Nigerians, how many Nigerians have this golden opportunity, and was also the DG to former President Buhari twice. So this man, by default already, nobody needs to be told, this man cannot be hungry. If he's hungry, he's only hungry for power.
Wow. Okay. Is there any political implication to the fact that the APC is now leading in the South-South, I would say, because, of course, we already know that the South-South has 6 states. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers, I believe.
I'm going to make...
And now only 2 states.
I'm going
That's
to
Bayelsa and Rivers that are not yet controlled by the APC.
No.
I mean, Rivers is almost
half and half.
Rivers is a bit shaky. What's your take on Rivers, by the way?
Rivers State...
Do you see similar like Fubara just...
And then you can...
He visited the president in Lagos here, and he visited him and paid him a homage. And information closed door, behind the scene, is that he's already ready to play to the president's gallery to secure his own seat back, which hopefully he will get it. And in return, he would also win the presidency. President Bola Tinubu, as a strategist, is after winning re-election. Everybody knows that. So he's ready to work with anybody who is ready to
So are you
deliver
seeing
for him.
Rivers becoming a PDP state?
Or APC?
It may
Sorry, an APC state.
Yes.
Yes.
There are 2 ways in which Asiwaju Tinubu plays his politics. He is as it was described in Financial Times in 2015, is a Machiavelli. He is somebody whom he can tell Fubara, okay, still work in PDP and still deliver PDP. At least Wike still says he's in PDP and he delivered APC.
Is it PDP in APC close?
Exactly.
PDP, APC.
So we have people like that. Kano State now, we also have information that Kwankwa Swan is the current governor. Most likely will also work for Asiwaju. We saw many NNPP.
But you didn't quite... Let's now
I was going to go back to
her
the 6.
question.
You know, you said you had
The
projections
6.
for 6
Yes, I
governors
have.
who are moving to the APC.
No. The South You
Okay,
mentioned
yes, the
something
political
about-
implication of
the
APC
South,
being
because
in
you
charge
can't be
of the South.
president of Nigeria by only the votes of the South, because the strategy
Now, the
seems to be
North, he has to
focused
win the
on
North.
the South.
Yes, and the North now is really tense. You know, the North, once power comes to the South, they are all clamoring again, power should go to the North. So in the South, I'll just mention the governors that are likely to work for the president come 2027, Enugu. Then in the Middle Belt, Plateau State is already romancing with the president a lot, and most likely...
Why do you
work
say
for him.
Enugu, though?
Enugu, this governor is most likely going to work also because...
Is it because he's standing as a stronghold in the PDP?
The reason is that the polity and the geopolitics of Nigeria is that South-South and Southeast, they tend to want to work in alignment with the federal government. That is how they've been since 1999, since Olusegun Obasanjo. Except in Buhari's time. But there was something unique that happened in the second term of Buhari. And this is also another response to one of your questions, is that even if all the governors defect to APC, that does not guarantee the president being re-elected. Look at 2023. Look at the Obi phenomenon. This man came in without any structure, without any governor, and he won 8 states according to INEC. And he even won Lagos State, which is the stronghold of Asiwaju. So my prediction is, even if all the 36 governors defect to APC, and INEC is credible, and the election is transparent, and people have resentment against this government, that doesn't guarantee re-election.
So that's it. You use the word, and INEC is credible.
Yes.
So now everything is dependent on INEC's credibility to make
Absolutely.
it work. But there's also fear.
Intimidation, voter apathy. So
all of that.
That's
And
why
then-
politics is not straightforward. There are many things in which politicians can use. They can buy their way in, they can gather, many people are hungry. And politicians weaponize poverty.
They can also go to
That is
court.
another style. Court again.
And then courts. the
Rigging.
courts.
So they can weaponize poverty, make people hungry, and gather masses of people and buy their
Bread
votes.
and buy bread
Give them
and
bread,
in
yes.
1,005.
That's another way they can win election. They can buy their votes, weaponize poverty. Another way they can do it again, the rigging. Now again, I heard that the National Assembly want to pass a bill where you are mandated or you are forced to vote. So there is an opportunity for them to just get people.
Based on
there was
the
a
reaction
backlash.
of
Another thing
Nigerians, they
again,
dropped that proposal.
another thing they are trying to do is that you can vote without a voter ID.
That's the biggest one.
So that is the easiest way to rig elections.
So, but that one, from what I understand, except I understand it wrongly, they're not trying to say you are voting without an ID.
Or
They're
any
just
means
switching
of
into digital,
identification,
so
exactly.
that you're not. We are trying to reduce
Plastic.
reliance on plastic
But
or whatever
remember
we
that-
currently
Now,
use for
the
our.
digital they are
But
trying
remember
to
that
do
the
can
digital,
also be
sorry to interrupt you, remember that
manipulated.
the digital issues, we still had issues in the last
Yes,
elections
glitch.
as well.
Technical
That
glitch.
Some people couldn't find their PVCs and all that. There were issues online and so on. They couldn't even vote.
But let's give INEC the benefit of doubt. They've had 4 years to reflect on their last outing. And hopefully they will do a better job.
Anyway,
Yeah.
to wrap things up quickly, Doctor, for joining us. Quickly, what do you make of, we've talked about the defection of Akwa Ibom State Governor.
The refusal of the commissioners
Finally,
to defect
yes.
with him.
Do you think that will affect the chances of the governor going for another term?
Now, the commissioners, they can reappoint new commissioners. The assembly is where there is a bottleneck. The national, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. Mind you, if 2/3 or more than 2/3 don't defect, he can be impeached. They can do it. But I don't see this possible because the federal will always, for example, they want to impeach him, they can just say they want to renovate the assembly as they did in Rivers State, demolish the building and frustrate, as also it was done in Fayoshi's time. They can frustrate the process of impeachment. But if the whole team don't defect with him and his structure does not, it might affect his chances.
So we might be looking at an impeachment
But
anytime
would you
soon.
also say that our politics has evolved, looking at the caliber of commissioners that refuse to defect and are standing their ground? Because in Nigeria, they think, having a government appointment is heaven on earth, and anywhere the principal goes, I will follow him because
I commend the politicians. I commend the commissioners that did not defect. I commend the lawmakers that did not, because I want Nigeria to have a bipartisan. I don't even like all these multi-party. I like it to be two major, like you have in the US or in the UK or in other countries, where you have two major parties. Look at the 2023 now. There were three major forces, and we saw how the votes divided. The South voted majority for opposition. The North also voted majority for opposition, but there were divisions. So if we have two major political parties and majority of Nigerians do not want this, they can go to another.
Well, excellent analysis, Dr. Yusuf Haroun. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.